Hey everyone, I'm Julie Kent, and those of you who know me know that I write horror novels, stories, and some poetry. And those of you who don't know me will soon find out. Um, Before we get into today's video about why to write a novel or novel advice, I'd like to make sure everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving as December is steadily approaching. I can't believe it's almost Christmas time, but I'm hoping everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I did. I hope all of you did. I can't believe it's getting ready to be Christmas in less than a month now. I feel like we just had Halloween, which yep, you guessed it. That's my favorite holiday of all the holidays because you guessed that also because it's dark and creepy, and I love all that is dark and creepy. Now, don't get confused and think that I myself am dark and creepy. Well, maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little. But we'll get to that in another video. Anyway, novel advice today. I'm going to give you some short pointers and tips about writing a novel and reasons to do so. The first and the number one reason to write a novel, the number one reason I write novels or write anything really, I will write a poem because I enjoy it. You can't write. Let me rephrase that. You can write, but you cannot write successfully if you don't enjoy it. You have to enjoy what you do. You have to be happy about it for it to be a success. And that doesn't go with just writing. That's with anything in life. If you don't enjoy it, it's going to show in the outcome. I firmly believe that, and I think most of you do as well. As far as writing a novel, though, I mean, what crazy person sits down one day and says, hey, I think I'm going to write a 65,000 word essay on Jack and Bob, and they're going to do A and B and C, and then this and this is going to happen, and then they're going to live happily ever after, or they're going to drive off of a cliff. The end. I have a novel. I'm going to print books. I'm going to sell copies. This is going to happen. People are going to know me. That is not how it happens. If that is what you think, just forget it. You should not be writing a novel. F. Scott Fitzgerald said it the best. I believe he said it the best. We don't write because we want to say something. We write because we have something to say. And in my case, that is absolutely true. Even though I write fiction, which is not true. It's all made up. The stories are all made up. But I have something to say. I have a story to tell, and there is a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little piece of truth in what I'm putting down on the pages. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. Number 2, it is an outlet. For me, it is a huge outlet. I'll tell you, I don't have many friends. I mean, I have friends. I don't go out very often, though. The writing life can be a lonely one. I'll be honest with you. I go to work. I come home. I feed my dogs and play with my dogs for a little bit. Then I do some writing. Then I maybe watch a little bit of TV. And I go to bed. There is not that much excitement. Well, playing with the dogs is a little exciting for me because I absolutely adore my pups, and you will see them in some of my upcoming videos, I can assure you, because they are a huge part of my life. But I spend a lot of time alone, so I need that outlet. And as long as I have that outlet, I can find a story in anything. Which I'll just briefly mention. My last book, Blood Type. If you can see the poster behind me, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a picture of an old ancient royal typewriter on the cover of the book. Blood Type is about a haunted typewriter, and that story actually came from an actual old typewriter that my sister found in a house that she bought. So like I said, she found a typewriter, showed it to me. I found a story in it. I can find a story in just about anything. That ended up to be a pretty cool story. I'm not saying every story I find is going to be a novel and it's going to get published and yada yada yada, but that one did, and you never know. And I have another one getting ready to come out. It's actually the prequel to that, so that's actually gone further. But I see stories in everything. And if you truly want to write a novel and you truly are a writer and it's your passion, you can see a story in everything too. I truly believe that. So find your story and just write it. And remember, don't listen to what other people say. Don't listen to what other people say. People will tell you, you should write a book about this. You should write a book about that. That would make a great story. Let me tell you, I hear that every day. I hear, why don't you make me one of your characters? Why don't you write this? Why don't you write... If I wrote what other people told me to write, I couldn't write a good book. I could write a good book, but it wouldn't be my book. It wouldn't be in my heart. It wouldn't have me all over the pages. And I don't know that I'd be as proud of it. So just remember that. Number 3, this is a toughie. Writing a novel is very hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard, and you need to be ready for it. You need to be ready for everything that comes along with writing a novel if that's what you want to do. And part of what comes along with it is disappointment. Don't expect to get money right away. If you want to write a novel because you want to make money, that is totally the wrong reason. You need to write it because you love it. You need to write it because it's your passion. That's going to make a good story that will eventually lead, hopefully, to the money that you would like to do long term. But right now, if you're just getting started and you want to write a novel and it's in here, get it from in here onto the pages, work from there. Don't expect to get any financial output from it, but the feeling that you'll get inside, the feeling of accomplishment that you get inside, is worth more than any amount of money anybody could pay you. So just remember that. You have to have a lot of time and patience. Time is something I don't have a lot of, but if you want to write a novel, you have to make the time. You have to set the time. Set a writing schedule. Say, I'm going to write this night and stick to it. Make it a reasonable goal. Set reasonable goals that you can stick to. That way you won't disappoint yourself that way. When I talk about disappointment, I'm not so much talking about I don't think that you're going to be able to do anything with your book when you're finished, because I do. I believe that you can. I believe we all can. The disappointment I'm talking about for myself is all up here. I am my own worst critic. So that if I can just get over that, that would be wonderful for me. That is the hardest thing I struggle with. I will write a chapter and then completely rewrite it because I feel it's not going in the direction that I want it to go in. I'll completely rewrite it when it was absolutely fine to begin with. I just didn't approve of it. So sometimes it's good to have a backup reader just to read what you've written to either approve of it or tell you trash it. And this needs to be somebody that's honest. So your mom, in this case, is not the wisest decision, because your mom is going to tell you anything that you write is fantastic. Mine would. I'm sure yours would. I'm a mom. I know. I tell my kids everything they do is fantastic. I mean, they're my kids. It has to be. So a backup reader that will be completely honest with you is what you need if you're having a hard time criticizing yourself. And that's a big thing for me. So I have people that I trust that go behind me and look at my stuff. That being said, the biggest reason that I write my novels, the reason I've written the ones so far, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not rich. I love the feeling of accomplishment. I love the feeling I get when I see somebody reading my book, and I love the feeling it gives me when somebody comments on my Facebook page or my Twitter feed or something about one of my books, and they say, you know, or they ask a question, or when are you going to write another one, or when is this coming out, or, you know, it's that feeling I can't even explain. That part of it I cannot explain to you. You have to find that out for yourself. Okay. The last thing I'm going to go over with you real briefly is probably one of the biggest things you have to remember. It doesn't happen overnight. Writing a novel takes time and patience. Like I've said, time and patience. On a lot of editing. Editing sucks. I don't know how to sugarcoat that. You can't sugarcoat that. Editing sucks. You will edit something, then you will edit the same something again, then you will edit the same something again, then you will take it to a publisher, then you'll have to edit that same something again before it ever hits print. I can't tell you how many times I've had to edit before things got to the actual book. How many times you go through editing, it's unreal. Editing sucks, but if you can get through it, it's totally worth it. And it's really hard to know when you're done, because I not only edit my final product, but I edit while I'm writing also, which in itself is difficult because I try to make things perfect the first time, which it takes me longer to get a full page written than most writers because I'm editing along the way. I probably will change that somewhere along the way because I'm finding that I'm having to edit so much afterwards anyway, so the upfront editing should probably slow down. It's just a bad habit that I'm trying to break. So we'll see how that goes. But it is very hard to know when you're done with your project. But you got to stick with it. No matter how hard it is, you got to stick with it. Set realistic goals, stick with it, and I promise you, you will have an unbelievable feeling of satisfaction. If you write a novel and it gets in the printing stage, whether you self-publish or whether you go the traditional publishing route and a publishing house picks you up, the feeling you get when somebody reads your book and tells you that it's a great book, or they compliment it in any way, is just, I can't even describe that feeling. You'll have to see for yourself when you write your first novel, and I wish you luck. Please comment any questions. I will do Q&A videos on here for any questions you might have. Please click subscribe to my channel and like my videos, and you'll be notified of updates and whatnot whenever I post new videos. I'm gonna post weekly writing lessons on different various topics. If there is a specific topic that you would like to hear about, or you would like to learn about, or you just want to talk about and have a discussion, let me know. Give me a shout. Put it in my comments. Hit the subscribe and the like, and I'll catch you later. Have a great night.